Hello, AP Econ students for the 2021 school year. This is Dr. Ray with your introductory econ video for this year. So this is where I will be teaching while we're online in my office in front of my whiteboard. And I know you guys had your first day today with your blocks 1, 3, and 5. I hope those all went well. I'll be meeting you on Zoom, of course, tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning, at 9 a.m. for our first course. So this course is a course in basic economic theory. I know that a whole lot of you, I looked up some information on you guys, and I know that most of you want to major in business or finance or accounting or something very similar, management. A couple of you want to major in engineering. One of you wants to be major in politics and go into law, I imagine. But most of you want to actually major in business. So this is your theoretical economics grounding, the introductory courses, macro and micro for that. We will do some math, not a heck of a lot. It's not a difficult math class at all, but we will think quantitatively. So there's a lot of conceptual math. The math you're going to have to do is basically just arithmetic, maybe a little bit of algebra, not much of that. We're going to be doing a lot of graphing though. So some of the things you learned in geometry will apply here in terms of triangles and finding areas. But we won't do a heck of a lot of that either. But again, just basic geometry, basic arithmetic. All right, your textbook, Economics by McConnell, Brew, and Flynn. The 21st edition is the one you should have. Hopefully you found it. It's you either bought a new copy, you bought a used copy, you got it somewhere other than the bookseller that we typically use, Follett. Maybe you got it on Amazon. As long as you got the 21st edition, we should be in good shape. Every once in a while, a student picks up an edition from India or somewhere else, and the chapters are out of order, but hopefully that won't happen with any of the books that you picked up this time. We'll talk a little bit more about that, and you can ask me any questions about that tomorrow morning in class. One book for both microeconomics and macroeconomics. If you picked up a paperback that only has microeconomics in it, then you're going to need to buy the other paperback that has macro in it for the second semester. So please be aware of that. Hopefully you got the one book that's got both micro and macro in it. You're going to be using myap.collegeboard.org. So in the announcement that I posted in Canvas, I gave you the join code for both microeconomics and macroeconomics. So this is really 2 AP courses. The first semester, AP Microeconomics, you've got the join code for that. And if you would please join the macroeconomics also, even though we're not going to start it until second semester, please join both of them right away. If you do that this evening, we're all taken care of there. And I will be making assignments out of my AP, so you will be using that website. All right. So we'll be online from my office here. When we're in the classroom, we're going to be in room 435. So that's on the terrace level of the gymnasium. It's the south end of the team room. That's where we will be once we're back on campus. Hopefully right after Labor Day, we will be back on campus. So you're going to need to have your textbook with you every day. You're going to need to have a notebook. It's really important that you have a dedicated economics notebook. You should be taking notes every time I'm talking, and anything I draw on the board, you should be drawing the graph in your notebook. So we do a lot of graphing in this course. It's very important. You need to be doing the graphs. You can't just be sitting there watching me and saying, hey, these graphs are in the book. I got it. Because when it comes time for the test, you have to remember these graphs absolutely perfectly. And so that muscle memory, drawing those graphs is very, very, very important. Definitely be keeping a notebook. There will be homework. I want you to do questions out of the end of each chapter. We'll discuss that a little bit tomorrow morning. There are discussion questions, and I've already made the first assignment. If you looked at the announcement, you should read the first pages 2 to 6 in chapter 1. And if you look in the assignments on Canvas, you can see the first assignment is due Friday. And I want you to write those out longhand. So I want you to be practicing writing as neatly as you can so it can be read, because the AP exam, you're going to have to write that out, and it needs to be legible. And you need to learn to take a photograph of your work and upload it properly. And the photographs, last year, most people did a great job of taking photographs. Your math teachers have really gotten you squared away on how to photograph your homework pages. But still, a few students were leaning back, taking a photograph the long way, and it's very difficult to read when you do that. You have to be right directly over and take your photograph. Make sure there's no shadow on your work. We'll talk more about that tomorrow too. All right. But you will be uploading your homeworks to Canvas on a regular basis, and I'll be using the speed grader to get them back to you as quickly as possible. So we'll have a further discussion of homework and outside resources that you might be wanting to look at and use for this course. Maybe some of you already know that Khan Academy has a great microeconomics. In fact, they have a dedicated AP microeconomics course and an AP macroeconomics course. Saul Khan does those himself. They're kind of boring to use on a regular basis. If you've ever looked at Saul Khan videos on Khan Academy, he repeats himself over and over and over again. But they're very good if you want a review or you want a little different explanation to the way that I went over it. But most of the time, we'll be doing things live in class. I'll be turning and writing on the board here. Hopefully you'll be able to see that well. I'll stand to the side here. You can see what I've written on the board. And I will be making videos of the important things that we do. So not only will you get the live lecture from me, what we call synchronous learning, but I'll also be posting videos like this one of me going over certain graphs that are very important and explaining it to you again if you didn't catch it the first time. And I'll be going over some homework questions this way, making videos of homework question answers. So hopefully all this will work out very well. I'm really looking forward to meeting you guys on campus once we are able to come back and meet in room 435. So that's it for today. Have a great evening.